Hi, everyone. I'm Rachel Chamness at Sound Waves Heal. I'm a Fae and Spirit Guide liaison, a psychic mentor. I'm a medium and a psychic healer. Today, we are talking to the Selkies and some dolphins for some multidimensional messages. They want to talk to us about multidimensional fluidity, how to manage our own multidimensional selves, and they're going to be talking about the multiverse. They are going to be talking about our transformation of self-worth in ascension and why that's important, and a lot of other things. They're going to tell us about themselves, the real story of the Selkies, if you don't know, and what they really truly are. And all of this is for my tag Lightworker community. I'd like to invite everyone here to join me in my Facebook group where you'll get a lot more interaction with me because I go live there and also answer questions. And we have a lot of good communication and it's really fun. There are many people that do come on and give readings as well. And there are weekly card pulls and we talk about all kinds of things, not just Fae, but ETs and more. And we have a good time in there. So I'd love to invite you to Ascension and 5D Daily. So the Selkies and the Dolphins are here. And just to let you know who's coming. So the Selkies coming forward. The first one, of course, is Beesbee, who did come forward in my Oracle deck, Elemental Magic and Manifestation. Of course, this is not really what she looks like. This is just a representation in cartoon version. But she'll be coming forward, and so will Donaei, Illiathe, and Smorkie. I couldn't make up these words if I tried. That's what they say their names are. And we also have some dolphins coming. We have connected with dolphins before in tag, and you'll find it in the archives. I definitely recommend that you go back and attune to dolphins if you haven't yet. They're really wonderful. The ones coming forward are named Bransen, Dellie, and Morks. Really, these names really crack me up. First, they just want me to talk a little bit about who are the Selkies. So if you're in my group, 5D Daily, then you have already heard me talk about this, but it's really important. And I want to make sure that you understand about Selkies, the myth about Selkies, and the truth about Selkies. The Selkie myth, if you don't know it, is that once every 12th night or whatever time, the seal comes onto the shore and sheds the skin and becomes a beautiful woman. And this beautiful woman, they might all be together, all these Selkies who have shed their seal skins, and maybe they're dancing and having a beautiful time. A fisherman sees the Selkie and decides he wants her for himself. So he steals her skin and locks it away. And that way she cannot return to being a seal in the morning. And as long as she doesn't have that, she can't go back to being a seal. He keeps her in captivity, has babies with her. I mean, this is the story. It's really horrible. And I mean, they act like it's all about love. Obviously not. I mean, it just sounds super creepy. But anyway, that's a story. He keeps her. They have many children. And then one day she finally finds the key. She gets her seal back, her seal suit. She puts it back on. She goes back into the ocean and she comes on shore to always visit her children. But she goes back to her real love of her life, who is another seal. So this is the story of the Selkie. And it's not actually, of course, true. So who are the Selkies really? So Illiathe came forward to tell me who the Selkies are. I really don't know how to spell her name, but that's the closest I can get, I guess. So who are the Selkies? She tells me that Selkies are multidimensional spirits who are the heart of the seal. She says they are part of, I feel her energy so strong. We are part of the heart of the seal. Yes, it's true. And we come from other dimensions and other spaces. We are very multidimensional creatures, and we are, as you would call us, spirits, because we do not belong in the 3D as ourselves. The seal itself is an elemental on your plane of existence and also an animal of the earth. And yet we are deeply connected. We can share the soul of the seal. And so some have seen us with their third eye or seen the fifth dimensional aspect of us on special nights like 12th night or other times when the veil was thin. And so because it was unexplainable, they came up with a tale that tells a little bit about it, but is not quite true. So we do exist as a twin soul with the seal. and we are there, and you may call on us as a spirit, like a guide or a helpful being, for we are here to help you with your multidimensionality. And that is what we will talk with you about today. Okay, well, she just came on in. Her energy got so strong, I was like, go ahead, talk. Don't worry, I don't let people just come on in and talk through me. That is part of what I teach to my own students about managing your boundaries with spirit. But she just felt so good, I thought, oh, let's let her talk. And she'll be talking some more. So that's really what they are. They're the heart of the seal, the heart of the seal. And I just think that's beautiful. I feel like there's so much more to that than we can really understand in the 3D. That's the first time I've heard her say it's a twin soul situation. And it just makes me, that's just really cool. I like it. It makes me smile. So they're going to be talking about the multidimensionality aspect of ourselves. What is the multiverse? This fluidity that we have, like going back and forth. And what does that really mean? It's like kind of how to navigate the multiverse. So we do that, whether you are aware of that or not. We do it in meditation streams and even in the ascension process. So I don't want to waste any more time. Let's go ahead and start bringing them in to let them talk through me. This is trance channel mediumship, where I let them speak through me. And I do teach this, of course. Let's bring Illiathe in. She's just been with me this week, and I've been really enjoying everything she's brought forth. This time we're going to ask her, what is the multiverse? This is a big question. Much of it cannot be answered in a way that you will find satisfactory for the way that you receive information in the third dimension, but I will give my best to try and explain it to you. Many of you know that there are many alternate dimensions, alternate lives that you might be living at the same moment. That's part of the multiverse that you may understand from movies such as Spider-Man and others that deal with the multiverse. There are also just many, many planes of existence in other realms and realities. There is the Fae realm. There is realms of other galaxies, other universes. There are realms of other planes that are full of galactical beings that you may know already, such as planets of the Pleiades, planets of Lyra, and others that you may know these beings or have heard of them. And that is also considered another plane of existence. All of these planes of existence simultaneously go on at the same time, for there is no such thing as time outside the third dimension. So as you see, the longer I go, the more confusing it is for you to rationalize all of these thoughts in the 3D. So there are many times and many realities and many things going on. One question that I hear often is, then how does time work? How does the future work in the past? And how does it work when you make a decision? Does that mean one decision makes many realities? It's not quite so cut and dry as that. For the decisions that you make are not really unlimited. It may feel that you have unlimited decisions. But the last time you made a decision, did you not feel that there were 2 or 3 choices? Maybe if you thought very much about it, you would come up with another choice, or perhaps another choice would be given to you by your spirit team. But more than 4 or 5 choices, maybe not so much. So the truth is that many realities, you may have 5 choices, but you may not always pick the 3rd or 5th choice, for instance. Perhaps the 3rd and 5th choice are never, ever taken by you because they are only a choice and not in alignment with you. And so you may have a few branch off of 1 or 2 choices. So this still seems like infinite choices, but the truth is, these choices that are more seldom made in the multiverse by you, these choices that are not in as much alignment with your soul purpose, they are not lives that go on for very long. Many of these alternate realities do collapse on its own very quickly, especially since as we go towards ascension, many of these alternate realities are collapsing anyway because they have no use. They are getting closer and closer to this one reality, which is ascension. Okay, this is Rachel, and I just want to pop in here because that was a lot. I see this a lot. So I see a lot of alternate realities that don't get fully realized and they collapse. And I always look for this in a personal session when I do one-on-one sessions to like release some of these extra you. And there is in tag a meditation about this, like meet an alternate version of you, one who knows something that you'd like to learn, and they're there. But in this way, it's kind of like it becomes too much, and we have to take these other versions of you and bring them into your soul. So it's almost like pieces of your soul. It's a little bit different than soul retrieval, but it is related. And so that's something I do often. So Dolphin Bransen would like to try to explain a little more about the multiverse in case you're like, huh? At this point, which I wouldn't blame you. So let's see what Bransen has to say. And Bransen, is that really a name for a dolphin? Very funny. The multiverse does not always exist outside of you, but also inside of you as well. And sometimes when you make decisions in one reality, it affects and collapses other realities because the decision is so strong, it is so right that any other reality cannot hold against the high vibration of this one. And that is how you can see how the ascension timeline wins out. And you may be switching timelines all the time, switching, or you could say timelines, or you could say switching realities. This is where, of course, you find these different memories or thoughts within the collective where some have remembered a different past item than you do. What's called the Mandela effect is one of these effects that is noticed because you've come from a slightly different place and now you are in this one. And maybe tomorrow you are in another. In the end, you will be in the highest and most highest vibrating timeline, which is the ascension timeline. And many of the competing timelines will be dissolved. There are also many other lives at the same time in other places and universes and existence, other planes, other planets, other stars, and other places in which you have no word for at this time. And so in these places, there you are. You are having a completely different life and perhaps a much higher vibrational life, not in the 3D, but higher. And all of this happens at the same time. The problem of trying to understand it in the 3D is the only problem. And so once you come to a higher perspective, even in meditation and dreams or other places, you understand it as you are there. But perhaps when you come back to being grounded in the 3D, it does not make sense anymore. And that is because it does not make sense in the 3D, and you cannot make sense of it. And you do not need to. Know that your multidimensionality is an inner part of you and an outer part of you, but mostly inner. It is part of why you are here. Understanding and learning about these spiritual concepts is what you've come here to do. And not everyone has, but you have. As you are here, you are listening, and you are taking in this information, then you have definitely come here for this purpose. And so we are here to help you with that. Oh, I guess he's gone. Okay. Morks wants to talk, and then we'll get... I am Morks, and I claim Mintaka as my home. If you do as well, then I welcome you, fellow star seed. The multiverse has been explained. I would like to talk about the fluidity of the multiverse and what it has to do with you. For you are often bouncing around between not only timelines, but the dimensional space or the density, or however you would like to think of it, where you raise your vibration higher to connect with beings such as us, as this medium is doing at this moment. And then you may come back down, and then you may go higher. You may go into a trance state and visit in what you would call a meditative state, visiting places, talking to beings, receiving information. You may not always remember what you have gone to do or where you have gone, and sometimes you will. And that just depends on how important it is to remember. For we do not wish for you to be obsessed with traveling in higher spaces, for you actually have come here for a reason, and you must stay in this body and stay in that reason. And we love it for you to take the time to meditate and work on your spiritual practice. And it is very, very important that you do that, for it is very much part of this 3D world that you are in and leaving soon and vibrating higher from. But we don't wish for you to completely leave your 3D life, for there are reasons you are here, and you must go through the 3D emotions and work and understanding to get through. And remember that not everyone has come here to do this. There are many who will never do this. They will never change their minds, and it is not up to you to change it for them or to convince them. There are many here who are just coming for other reasons, for soul learning. And soul learning is not always positive. Many times it is negative. You have many past lives where you had many negative soul learning experiences, and you have had many negative soul learning experiences in this life. And that is how you got to where you are now. Of course, you learned something. You grew from situation, from trauma in the 3D space. Trauma is how you learn. It is. And you have chosen this. So it is only what it is. Let's talk to Donaei and see if he wants to tell us about himself, especially since he's male. I get a more male than female feeling, I guess I should say. Yes, we are beings who you may feel are female or male. And we can appear as any look that we wish. So we may appear as a beautiful woman. Sure, that is a popular version of us. Or we could appear as anything. We are here to just help the seal with their multidimensional understanding of the world and what they have come here to help with the earth, for they do help with vibrations of the earth, especially on shores and in the water. And we also come as beings to help you, to help humans. And so you may call on us, and we may come in any form. When you are meditating and you wish to visit higher realms and you wish to contact us or other beings, we ask that you sit in a quiet place. And first you must and I'll see you soon. Thank you so much for coming. And I'm so excited that you're here. And I'm just loving the Selkies this month. I just love the way they feel. They are really interesting. All right. Thanks a lot. And I'll see you later. Bye.